Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. It's wonderful to be here tonight, and I'm so glad that you're here with us. I hope that you're all set and ready to just enjoy some really fun music. Tonight we have with us a young man that I was told about before I saw him, and I was asked to go to an open mic and check him out. We had chattered a couple of times on Facebook after I was told to find him and check him out. Tonight's a very unique act. He's full of energy, and he's full of his own way of putting things out there. His style is all his very own, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching him at open mic. So I hope that you really enjoy him too. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Nathan Allen.
Is this on? Your act is eroded, your demeanor still holds for its sake. And I know you, and I see you, and I know what you go home to at night. Cause she's the store brand of her older sister. She's an emotion-dripping wash rag. Her hands weld to the inside of her brandless hoodie pouch. She's at the ground like this number with an interest. She's rolling to the sides in front of her. She's just a girl with graphite dirted on the outside of one finger. Can't you see her? Look. Watch her rationalize that she enjoys being quarantined from an average life. She's just an independent madam, right? That's a lie unmasked by her impulse divulge of her cat's love life. She's just clay, pining for more clay to fall into. Which is us all if we weren't glued. And she can express herself two ways. That's art and embarrassing others is rarely a third. But when neither one works, sometimes she screams, but only when she's alone in her bedroom. Because sometimes you want to be understood but not heard. Sometimes your likable side is afraid of the sunlight, and sometimes you want to just cry because you're tired of fighting with your mind for control of the steering wheel. So please don't believe me, speak. Don't. Your mind is a liar as long as you tell it it's wrong. I can't promise it'll stop. Her pencils don't bandage, but they're the only tools she's given. So she illustrates a reality that could drown the one we live in. You can keep the sympathy that just validates her pseudo-critics. You can save the award of nice person. That's a painful euphemism. She dreams of putting arms through other arms, but she can't get it, so she sketches two in bed, consumed by flesh like a waning crescent. Her stomach pains for intimacy, and her throat's dry of love. Can't you hear it? Through her fetal posture and every unrequited touch. You go down in history as a blush and a neck pain. Don't suppose that I couldn't relate. If you go those pages are vain to the length of eternity's reign. Thank you. Alright. Usually pause in between songs. So, alright. This next song is basically about how everything comes together. It's about how I'm sum of a bunch of influences. So hopefully you hear some of that. What happens when you tell a kid what not to do, and you offer a few substitutes, and you shrink the space in the box he moves, and you toss him a guitar that's hardly tuned? Is he lock his room and he jots and spews everything in his heart, and you leave him unresponded to? Because when you hide your kid for 8 years, he never learns to face fears. He emerges with a sense that his breaths are too pretentious for your ears. Doesn't get more weird, you get a confidence mismatch in his countenance, paralyzed, timid. He cites critics even though none exist. He's not a glitch, he's just a sum of this indie rock and battle verse. I'm an extrovert with Asperger's. Hey, the will to write is not mine. But that's not what I was raised on. Holy meat, notes on keys and homeschooling. They told me think for only me, but only to a known degree. And slowly creeped in flows and beats. And one of God's own growing seeds was sowed in hip-hop's ovaries. And I rose from cracks and boatberries. You don't know what you got till it's taken from your grip, and you really don't care to talk until you suck at it. What happens when a passion is planted but never practiced, because it sandwiches or the canvas, and the attempt to trap it is branded a distraction. Now imagine being grafted to something you can't even chat with, attracted to everything you clash with, or you're developing habits of acting misanthropic and passive. And there's no mercy granted for the actions of the past him. Time and again he's attacked with panic, restricted with his branches because he sees himself as a cactus, and there's too much traffic in his body's attic to allow for chances for his heart to transmit. If you just take everything that I just said and you stack it all, you know what happens when you add it? To indie rock and battle verse, you get an extrovert with Asperger's. The will to write is not mine. But that's not what I was raised on. Holy meat, notes on keys and homeschooling. They told me think for only me, but only to a known degree. And slowly creeped in flows and beats, and one of God's own growing seeds was sowed in hip-hop's ovaries. And I rose from cracks and boatberries. You don't know what you got till it's taken from your grip, and you really don't care to talk until you suck at it. Oh, mama, 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 mama. Oh, you raised a pariah with no esteem. Who calls for relation? The answers give no symmetry. Everyone's reflection, but sees himself nowhere. My rib cage, like double gates, would wide divide to find something like I'd like to surrender. But that's not what I was raised on. Holy meat, notes on keys and homeschooling. Said I was raised on holy meat, notes on keys and homeschooling. They told me think for only me, but only to a known degree. And slowly creeped in flows and beats, and one of God's own growing seeds was sowed in hip-hop's ovaries. And I rose from cracks and boatberries. See, you don't know what you got till it's taken from your grip, and you really don't know what it's like to care to talk until you suck at it. Thanks.
Really love him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so much fun.
Thank you so much. All right, this is another song. So I wish I had some good intros for my songs, but I like to believe there's enough words in them that I don't really have to talk too much about it. When that smile cracked, you'd have sworn it was the cloud. That's how it proved the existence of the sun I doubted and raised my gaze from the ground. I was seen in that excited me. We held our words until our eyes could meet and attended to that smile sound. You didn't show your teeth till you showed me poetry of all your ancient token childhood woes. You spoke to me, related openly your perspectives. I tried to hold my peace as the stone nail in your lips together broke. When that smile cracked, I swear it went like the veil. We drank fruit marks the way you were made to, wearing our internalized stigmas. You were a quiet kid, you wouldn't fight for the slide, more inclined to swing. Likewise, had a childish life defined by ticks, even if yours were a little bit more literal. Passions lodged down under in private cupboards, compromise contention for comfort. But your conscience was too stubborn to hide the facts. You know, maybe it was mostly manners, but we shared much laughter. In my journal, I wrote a chapter of that time a while back. When that smile cracked. No sooner had you cracked your split, I tapped into you in a time of transition, months from being a graduate. I guess I had the hint you had an itch to be somewhere birth hadn't trapped you in. It's not like I don't have your digits, but I never had confidence to say I had your friendship, so now I just have to see your first and last name written when I'm flipping through my address book. And in my mind I go back to that first welcoming eye contact. In that instant I felt that grin was a reaction to my whole past. And if this contact is the thing that chips that crevice in your cheek, then cast your stare across this table and may nothing come between. Because when that smile cracked, you would have sworn it was a new dawn. A new dawn!
Woo!
Cool. How many more? How many more down?
100.
100? Okay.
Several.
100 more coming up. Want to be quoted. I want to scream a poem so loud it drowns out the sound of my own thoughts. My soul squashed in the hefty archives of my shame. Chronic self-deprecating migraine. You want me to palm my brain? Tear it, roots and all, launch it through a wall. I'm not gonna do it though. I won't let you control my actions. It lulls me to hear how crass my past is, all crisscrossed. Sit and smile as you recount the fails. Show me the pictures on the pages and all day play my permanent regrets. Beat my head to the beat that repeated. You can't define me, you can't define me. You can't define me by these moments of incompetence. It's I who gives worth to you. You who dines on potential. I won't serve anymore. You can scar me, tar me, my heart's on my sleeve. I'm sorry, you're not gonna see me bleed, you're not gonna leash me. You're comic relief to me, just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out, just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out, just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out, just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. You can to me. Your hand is weak and I will never be a slave to my memories. You successfully kept everyone in arm's stretch from me, but you can't take breath from me. I'm not my wreckage. I'm a soul embodied and you can't stop me from pursuing my next breath. I'm a pea, innately needing to relate a created soul with breathing veins. You can point, stare at the vastness of this past mess. But this is not a mess, it's a cutting room floor. And I am not afraid of the cutting room floor. You can strike me cold through my skin and bones, but you will not kill my soul. You can weigh your burdens on me. You can slay my earthly body. You can scar me, tar me, my heart's on my sleeve. I'm sorry, you're not gonna save me bleed. You're not gonna leash me. You're comic relief to me. Just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. Just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. Just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. Just stop it, cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. stop it. 'Cause you're only gonna wear yourself out, just stop. I will never be a slave to my memories, a slave I will never be. I will never be a slave to my memories, a slave I will never be. I will never be a slave. I will never, ever, ever be a slave to my memories. See how you're wasting your time on me. You're wasting your time on me, You're wasting your time. Just stop it. 'Cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. Just stop it. 'Cause you're only gonna wear yourself out. Just stop it. All I've done so far is wear myself out. Thanks. I think that's all I got.
You have about 9 more minutes. Do that moon dance song.
I'm feeling kind of sick right now, to be honest.
Okay, you want to come sit down?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. All right, well, so while Nathan comes and has a seat, and we give him a break from doing what he does so quickly and so passionately, I just want to remind you that Halloween is coming up next weekend, and it's really important that we pay attention to our little ones. There's so much going on. The ECSO was tonight, opened up tonight, and we have the ECSO coming on the show actually in late December, so that will be really, really a lot of fun to have the new executive director of the Eastern Connecticut Symphony Orchestra with us. There's a new place in town to check out. The name of it is Octane, and Octane is where the old Frank's place used to be, and they've opened up the patio so that you can like see everything, and they're going to have food and drinks outside on the patio right on the corner of Bank Street and Tilly. It's beautiful. They did a Cajun sandwich thing for the food stroll, and it was really yummy. I was kind of concerned that it would be too spicy for me with the mustard that they used, but it was really yummy, and we welcome them to the neighborhood. So there's a lot going on in downtown New London. Make sure you check out your local shops. Now, let's talk to Nathan and see what he's really all about. Hey, sweetie.
Hey.
How are you? Come in if you want. We'll sit and talk. Never mind them. They don't even know.
Pulling down my shirt.
You look beautiful. Cool. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about it. It's just you and I. We're here.
Just make sure they can hear me, that's all.
They can hear you.
All right, cool.
So let's talk about the uniqueness of you. This is one of the things that struck me right from the very beginning is you're different. Now, we were talking about what kind of a name we can put on your music. And the more you played, the more I thought about it. And how about folk rap?
That's a good term.
Yeah, because it's definitely kind of talking like rapping, but it's not so much the rap as in the poetry, but the rap in the attitude.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I think it's kind of a blend of, I definitely have my I definitely have my singer-songwriter influences, and I listen to a lot of hip-hop, so it's kind of a blend of those, everything that I listen to and digest,
Right. So what influences you to write the things that you do write?
What influences me? Feelings, I guess, everything, like I say, I'm a sum of influences, everything that I see, everything that's happened to me. I guess I've dealt with, like a lot of depression, a lot of, shame, feeling like I can't necessarily express myself, so I would say, the music kind of gave me
an outlet.
Yeah, an outlet.
Yeah.
And so, I channeled all that into there, and it's been like 6-7 years coming, so, it's kind of built up.
Now, are you planning to do a CD Or do you have a CD ready, or what are you doing with your music? Are you going to put it out so that we can enjoy it at home?
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, this is the first time I've actually performed in over a month because I've been trying to focus on writing for now because I'm a really slow writer. I'm a very slow writer, so I've been, yeah, I think over the last year I've probably managed to finish like 7, 8 songs or so. So I'm trying to find time to record those, yes, and hopefully have a CD done by spring at the latest.
Wow, that would be great. You're very passionate about what you do, and I think that a lot of your songs, a lot of your songs just scream that passion. And I don't mean in you with a screaming voice, I mean scream your passion in the whole way that you move and the whole way that you express yourself. Do you find it's easier to express yourself in your songs rather than here one-on-one or in life as a whole?
I would definitely say that. I'm definitely very, I guess people say introverted, but yeah, it's definitely, I'm a very slow processor, so even like in regular conversation, it's kind of hard for me to even think of responses to those daily conversation things that people have to say. So, most of my songs are just, all the feelings, and, I like writing. I like composing and having like a well thought out thought done. So, yeah, but, so what was the question again?
It was a good answer.
Yeah. It was something about talking. And,
well, no, in one-on-one conversations, I'm also somewhat introverted. Everybody out there is laughing at me right now.
Yep.
Because I say, but I really am. And when you put me in a crowd, the last thing I want to do, unless I can put on the mask of Gramma, the last thing I want to do is get into a one-on-one conversation with someone that I really don't know. It's extremely hard for me. And I noticed that about you when we met the first time. Over the phone, you were fine. But when we met the first time down at the Roadhouse, you were very withdrawn and very shy. But then when you got on the stage, I was like...
It's kind of a bipolar thing,
well, I wouldn't even say bipolar. I would say split personality. There's the personality of you, the outgoing, really aggressively passionate person that's on the stage performing, and then the you that I'm really not sure I know how to answer that is you when you're, and I get like that too. So I understand that so completely. Now, music obviously is a passion of yours. How long have you been playing the guitar?
I started when I was in high school, about 16. There was a guitar, my brother had a guitar, and it was just sort of lying around the house because he was taking a guitar class at the time. And just like a cheap little Fender. And I just picked it up one time, and because I had a lot of songs, that I kind of wanted to learn to play, so I just kind of Googled tabs for the songs I liked, and that's kind of how I taught myself how to play chords and just sort of developed from there. It's been, I was 16, I'm 22 now, so what would you say, like 7, 8, 9, 10? 6 years?
I'm going to count my fingers.
I wasn't going to try and fake it,
That's a wonderful thing. So can I assume from that answer that you haven't had any lessons?
I did take a couple classes in high school, but they were very, the first class I took was pretty much stuff I had already been teaching myself at the time. And I'm just not good. I'm really bad at paying attention to lectures all through school. I fell asleep like every time. I wouldn't say it didn't help me at all, but I definitely taught myself more when I had time to myself to kind of learn to play the guitar the way I wanted to use it,
Okay, so Sigmund Freud was also very introverted, believe it or not, and he would write also. Do you find yourself to be of that higher intellect that your brain works better when you're alone and processes a lot of things?
Yeah, I would definitely. When I'm by myself, I'm constantly just like thinking about stuff and going off on rants and stuff, you know, like all the time in my head. And, you know, and I guess that's probably, it all comes out because, you know, I have a whole lot of stuff I'm feeling, a whole lot of stuff I'm thinking, no one to tell it to. And as soon as, you know, I get really self-conscious, so like I could be thinking about a whole lot of stuff and feeling a lot, and then someone walks in the room and, you know, it's all gone, you know, so I won't even remember what I was thinking about. So, yeah, I guess like the music is always sort of where I take all those feelings and thoughts that I don't really express when around other people, and I find a place to put it, because otherwise it just stays in there and
Festers
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I find that your words to your songs are introspective. And are they about you, or the Asperger song? Do you have relatives or friends, or have you yourself been diagnosed, even mildly, or
I've never
is
been.
Asperger's just something that fascinates you?
I guess, well, the thing is, like, all through, you know, like, growing up, I always sort of felt like, okay, why can't I seem to have conversation? Like, for me, like, I always used to, like, watch people talk and just be like, how are they doing that? You know, it always seemed like a talent that I just didn't have, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I grew up kind of feeling like, man, I must have some kind of disorder, I must have some kind of disability, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And so, like, I guess Asperger's was one of those things, you know, I would, you know, someone said, oh, yeah, that's social disorder, and I would say, okay, maybe that's it. You know, so it was just sort of it's just sort of like I don't know, it's just sort of, you know, a social disorder that I thought maybe that's it.
You know, you're not the only person that has trouble talking in public. A lot of us sit back and watch conversation going on and are like, how are they doing that? How can they stand there and feel comfortable doing what they're doing? I get that so much. There's a picture, I'll tag you in it and show it to you later, of me at a party. And in the picture you see that I'm all by myself and I have a smile on my face. I'm completely content to be standing there watching everybody else do their thing until somebody comes into my space, and then I'm like, now I have to talk to them. Now, when I'm here and doing what I do, as long as I'm in a place of control, I'm okay, but once I'm out of my own element, I'm a mess. So I totally get that. Now, do you think that your IQ is on the high side?
I mean, I don't necessarily think of myself as like a wiser person or more smarter than anyone else. I mean, you know, like when you practice something, I think when you spend a lot of time thinking by yourself, I think you get better at thinking by yourself, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, it's just, I would say I'm probably more intellectually developed because, you know, like, if you talk more, you're going to be better at talking. Well, I didn't do that, so I spent more time thinking, so I got better at thinking, you know? So smarter, I wouldn't necessarily say so, but I think, you know, I definitely think probably deeper than people who haven't. You know?
Deeper than people who...
I don't know.
I like that. Do you consider yourself an artist?
Yeah, I would definitely say I definitely have, you know, I like to create things, you know, I like to furnish a good product, you know, so I think that's definitely part of my personality, yeah.
Do you do anything other than music for art? Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you create in any other way other than music?
I wish, I've tried drawing, I've tried painting, I've tried ceramics, yeah. There really isn't a whole lot. I'm mostly just words. Words is pretty much my medium.
Words are good for you. Yeah. They work really well for you. So I can just see your room now with all these papers with words, lots of prose written all over the place. Is that kind of what goes on? You've got notebooks and notebooks and scraps of paper laying around that has. Now, do you think that a lot of those you're going to put to a backbeat, to a melody or to a tune?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, like, I definitely write a lot. I just you know, I try to take, when I'm sitting down and composing something that I'm going to put to music, I usually try to figure out, okay, which sentences are most accurate and are going to be specifically what I want to express, and then I kind of pick out the most important ones and put something that'll fit into like a concise song, you know.
Okay,
So.
and where do your melodies come from?
Melodies?
That was not a funny question. Wow. I'm going to have to take care of my gaffer later. So, no, really, there's definitely a couple of the songs were really, there are melodies there that I could sing in the back of my head for a long time. Where do those come from? Your riffs, maybe that's more the word that I want, the riffs that you put behind your words.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it's all for the purpose of expression, you know, it's all like, okay, what's going to help make, like, whenever I consider what I'm going to put into a song, it's always, you know, if I don't have a reason for it, I'm not going to do it. So it's like, is this going to help people feel what I'm feeling, you know, is this going to help people understand what I'm trying to say? So, you know, when I want to say something, you know, maybe I'll feel like a melody will bring up more emotion and help people to understand what that is. So, and then when you're talking melodies in terms of like, how do I pick like what chords I'm going to play and stuff like that, I mean, that's, I just sort of think of like a general sound. You know, I'm really into beats, I'm really into hip hop, so like I kind of think of like, all right, what's kind of like a recurring, you know, melody that's going to really create the emotion I want, so. I kind of just sort of hear in my head and
you just hear them in your head. I love that. I hear songs in my head too, but I didn't write them. Not even close. I don't even come close to that. You went to UConn. What did you major in?
Communications. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Communications?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm really into, you know, I guess I like producing things, so I figured, you know, if nothing else, I could work with public access or be on a radio show, you know, or, you know.
Have you ever done a radio show? Being in the radio station is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, I did do a radio show while I was up at UConn for a semester. It was on the internet station, not the FM. But.
Yeah. But isn't it fun to be in that little room sending music out and not have to deal with humans and just be able to put music out over I love that. I love that. I love that. I love being on the radio.
Yeah.
I love being in that little tiny box with just me and the music. In my mind, I've got a million listeners, of course, but that's the egotistical part of me. But I love being alone in the studio and knowing that I'm putting what I find to be the best of music out for listeners. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Because
I put a lot of really new music out, and I try to find what I think is really good stuff. Now, that being said, I was told, I think it was Ethan Cash that told me that I had to see you. And like I said, I was a little concerned when you were so offstandish. But then I watched you get up and perform. And the charisma that you put out is enormous. Have you ever seen a video of yourself performing?
I have. Yeah.
You have? How does that make you feel?
You know, I just sort of look and say, oh, there's me, you know. I guess for other people, like, it probably would seem like kind of radical or drastic, or, you know, but for me, you know, it's just sort of like, I know me, so it's
right.
I know what I'm doing, you know, so it's like when I see myself, you know, I'm not really, if anything, I'm like, oh man, I didn't do as well as I thought, but besides that, yeah, I mean, sometimes, then again, also there are good ones, and I'm like, okay, I nailed that one, you know. So.
Well, I think I got some really great pictures of you performing, I think. And I've already put them up on Facebook for those of you that want to go check them out. It just seems that you're so vested in making the emotion show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when you really want people to know what you're talking about, you really try to let people know.
I mean, you get all red and you're like, and it's very cool. I have received your emotions. I'm sitting here with this big old stupid grin on my face, looking at my sound engineer and my gaffer, and trying to get a reaction from them because I want them to feel what I'm feeling, that I know you're trying to make us feel. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I have had hip-hop/rap artists here on my show. And they're all passionate about what they do. Everybody I have on my show has the passion that I'm looking for, putting out there for the people that I have. For the viewers that I have. I want my viewers to know who you are and who any of my musicians I put on here. But rarely have I seen, rarely have I seen anybody put so much of their emotions and soul out as you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the word I want is exude. Wonderful. Is that the right word?
It's a good word.
It's a great word, but that's what you do. You put it out and it spreads. Isn't that what exude kind of means?
I think so. I don't have a dictionary on me right now, but I like
but
it.
That's what happens. That's what I feel like you do, is you exude the energy, and the song that you're singing about, you just put out so much. It's not just into the microphone and in that little corner that you're standing, whether it's on the stage at the Roadhouse or here. It's in this room. Like, people in the same room with you watching what you do can't help but get it. Do you know what I mean? The only other band that I've ever seen really perform with that kind of connectivity to the audience is a band called Someone You Can X-Ray. And when they play, I get the same feeling as I get with you. I feel who you are when you're playing it. And with Someone You Can X-Ray, I feel who that lead singer is when she's doing what she does. It's like you're giving up a little piece of you to us. Is that how you want us to feel?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I said, it's all about just expression, and, I guess, it comes from just wanting to be heard, and so, it's, yeah, I guess sort of the whole thing is just sort of, like, if I can get an accurate enough song to really say what I want to say, then people will understand me better,
Well, they really do. I really understand you better. When you were done here, you said you were feeling a little ill. Are you feeling better now?
I am feeling better, yeah.
Are you going to be able to play for us to take us out?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. Student loans paid off, and this is sort of really what I want to do. It's not even necessarily what I want to do as much as it's just sort of like what I feel like I do best, and it's just sort of the way I feel like, I do believe people are designed, and so like I feel like if someone's designed an artist, they should be an artist, So.
Well, I definitely believe that what you have to offer the world is artistic and extremely unique. I've never seen anybody do what you do as well. I mean, I think I've seen comics come across kind of the way you do, but I don't see you as a comic, not even a little bit. I take you and your music and your prose extremely seriously. I think that you do too. And I think that you really want to get across to the world what you're trying to say. So I don't know who else I would compare you to. Someone in the 60s did what you do, and I think that I read about it in a book about Andy Warhol. And I think that some of what you do was done a lot in the 60s with music behind prose, with feelings about fixing things, fixing the world and fixing, but I can't put my finger on who it was or where it comes from. I really don't think that there's anybody that does what you do the way that you do it. So, that being said, because you are so unique, the first thing we have to do is figure out how to get people to accept what you do as uniquely different but wonderful. because that's what I think you are.
Thank you.
Because, well, if I didn't like you, you wouldn't be on my show. I'm very picky about who I put on my show. If in 5 years you want to still be doing this same thing, and you want to be putting out what you do to the world, what do you want to leave behind as a legacy? Do you want people to remember you as a singer, a songwriter, a poet? Maybe I'm not even using a word that you would think of. What do you want to leave behind as a legacy?
A legacy. Gee, that's way in the future. I mean, like, I don't really. I mean, I'm not necessarily looking to be remembered, I would say, as much as I guess I would just like people to, you know, have better understanding of each other, you know, because I feel like, yeah, it's very easy to, shoot, yeah, that's a tricky question.
It is a tricky question, but I think that you came across with an answer that you might not have even known you said. What you said was, I want people to understand each other.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
That's a huge legacy. People don't understand each other. And in this day and age, people don't even try. You know, we're all electronics. We don't even talk anymore. And I think that's a problem. We all text and Facebook, but no one gets into face-by-face, one-on-one conversations anymore because they don't have to. Electronics has taken that away. You know, so how do you learn feelings if you don't interact with other people with feelings? And you just hit the nail on the head. I want people to understand each other. And if you're able to convey in your art feelings to people so that they get it, that's awesome. I think that all musicians as a whole, and I think I probably say this on every show, I think one of the things that musicians and artists in general do that I need is you make music or make songs or make words that express emotions that I don't know how to. And then I hear it and I get it, and that light bulb goes off and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like that. I get that. And I think you do that, and I think you do it very, very, very well. So,
Thanks.
we have a little less, I don't understand, I don't get it. We have a little less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, do you have a song, 10 minutes, or two songs?
I have a song. I mean, it's kind of a long one though.
You have a nice long song?
Yeah.
That will work very well for me.
Okay.
Are you ready to do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Nathan, I want to thank you so much for coming on and showing us a piece of you that a lot of people don't get to see, I think.
Okay.
I'd love to see you out in public doing more of what you do because it's fun, it's engaging, and it's your heart. And I love seeing your heart. It's a good thing. As much of an introvert as you are, when you get on stage, you're not. When you get on stage, you give away a piece of you to each and every person that sees what you do. And that's such a blessing to all of us that don't know how to do what you do. And I thank you for that. I thank you sincerely for giving to me what you do, because what you do helps me see pieces of me that I wouldn't know how to see otherwise. So
It's very humbling.
take it out with a song, and thank you so much. Unclip before you go, okay? You got it? Okay, well, Nathan's going over to get hooked back up. Wow, wasn't that a neat interview? What a great guy. So while we're getting ready for him to take us out with a song, I just want to remind you all that we are coming into the winter season. One of the things I'd like to express is in the winter, it's harder on people than this in the summer. Our homeless population is really in need. The New London Food Pantry and Soup Kitchen is really struggling right now. As a matter of fact, I was told that they may have to close in December. Some of you sitting there watching have never been hungry. I know that. I've never starved. I've been hungry when I lived on the streets back in the early 80s and in the 70s, but I never went without. I had the strength to maintain. Some of the people that are on the streets don't. There is a GoFundMe for the New London food pantry. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you feel so led, they can use anything you have to offer. If you have an old pocketbook laying around the house, do me a favor, go fill it up with some Staples or some food bars and some toiletries, and hand it to a homeless lady on the street. You have no idea how much that will help. I'm telling you, there's a little kid that fills these plastic bags, and he fills them with things that are extra from places. Unused toilet paper, unused washcloths, things that you just, I don't know. I'm just saying that the homeless population here in New London County is large, and they're going to struggle this winter. It's going to be a hard winter, and they're without. Not all of them want to be homeless. Circumstances have put them in that position, and I'm preaching. But yes, please help your homeless. They don't want to be homeless, most of them, and it's just the right thing to do. So Gramma's had her say, and now I'm going to say goodnight. And thank you so much for joining Grandma's Attic Music Review. I hope to see you next week. God bless, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. This song starts off a cappella, so bear with me for a second. My thoughts are base, my words are flawed, and I'm self-aware, and my thesis is my wants inspire me to want to give, fill me with songs that give for as long as I live. That you cover our nakedness. Well, if that's true, then why does the blood still pressure my skin? And since the days of my youth, I failed to produce a character with a name I'm able to take pride in. And my emotions were punished when I told friends I loved them. And I was unaware of the standard my skeleton could practically reach. And they let me know. Father, forgive me, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And when the shoves start pushing, I always end up choosing shame. Since the start in Eden's garden, we're flushed with regrets. Your glory departed, now daily we're guarding our shame. Our shame. Vindicate us with love like only your face will. Warm the lungs that perpetually exhale shame. Redeem our trespasses and be our dignity's catalyst. Inflate us with grace. Our bodies can't handle this shame. This shame. So I appease my guilt and I canceled out sacrifice. Now I desperately plead this song to barely make up for my shame. Oh,
try to run laps? Could you liberate the joints of us, spending our lives fearing shame? Oh. When all souls hold grudges and remorse just doesn't cut it, would you hold me? Ooh. Tell me there's life after shame. Shame, oh. Give me ribs that won't cave. Give me a head that won't bow when discouragement tramples me. For this shame is my brain's greatest weapon. Would you sustain my defense and bolster my innards? Ensure me for today.